राधा संगत गया कुमतुड़ा, राधा संगत श्याम प्रीति जग साची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची। गाया गाया हरि गुण निस दिन, गाया गाया हरि गुण निस दिन, काल ब्यालरी बाँची, काल ब्यालरी बाँची, काल ब्यालरी बाँची, श्याम बिना जग खारा लागा, श्याम बिना जग खारा लागा, जगरी बाता काची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची। माझी जय मारी, जय मारी, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची। मीरा श्री गिरधर नटनागर, 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 भगत रसीली जाची, भगत रसीली जाची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे रघुराची, माझी सावरे, 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 सावरे।
चला वाहिदे गिरिधर नागर मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर सुन जा बिरद नरेश, सुन जा बिरद नरेश, चला वाहि देश, चला वाहि देश, चला वाहि देश, चला वाहि
प्रेम बेल बोई प्रभु असुवन जल सींच सींच प्रेम बेल बोई प्रभु असुवन जल सींच 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 सींच प्रेम बेल बोई दासी मीरा प्रभु लगन लगी मीरा प्रभु लगन लगी होली हो सो होई मीरा प्रभु लगन लगी होली हो सो होई मोर तो गिरिधर गोपाल दूसरो न कोई मोर तो गिरिधर गोपाल दूसरो न कोई
पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने पायो जी मैंने वस्तु अमोलिक दी मेरे सतगुरु वस्तु अमोलिक वस्तु अमोलिक वस्तु अमोलिक दी मेरे सतगुरु कृपा कर अपनायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो जन्म जन्म की जन्म जन्म की पूजी पाई
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीम् भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all who are listening to this talk on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are in the 6th chapter, and in the last class we have seen up to the verse number 21st of this 6th chapter, the way of meditation or Dhyana Yoga. Here from verse number 28th to 20th onwards. So these 3 verses rather, 21, 20, 21st and 22nd. We are seeing Bhagavan is narrating as if the epitome, the state of maturity of yoga sadhana. So what it results into, the state of being that individual, that aspirant, that sadhaka he attains, that yogi attains. So 21st verse that read as Sukham Atyantikam Yat Tad Buddhi Grahyam Atindriyam Vetti Yatra Na Chaivayam Sthitas Chalati Tatvatah. So Atyantikam Sukham, that which is infinite happiness, infinite bliss, and tad buddhi, of such intellect, that purified intellect, such kind of intellect which is atindriyam, which is transcending the senses. So this is supposedly apparently contradictory. Once we say buddhi and once we say atindriyam, that is transcending senses. So it is very much likely it is possible. It is not necessary for senses to work. The presence of buddhi is must. But buddhi, even the senses go to deep sleep, even if they remain absent, buddhi can work. It can transcend the senses. Such buddhi, which is free from the grasp of sensory clutches, which has to invariably to experience something, has to depend upon the sensory data directly brought in by the senses, as also impressions from the chitta. So only which you have known or which you are knowing, that only you can then a mind reflecting on it, and that reflection, those arguments in the form of sankalpa and vikalpa are presented before buddhi, and buddhi decides over it. This buddhi is something transcending, working independently of the sensory data. And what it could be, what is not sensory, is not material, which is not thought in the terms of sensory data. Anything, even if you are dreaming, even if you are just speculating, imagining, can you say there is no sensory data? Nothing can escape the sensory data. Everything we think in terms of forms, symbols, representations of what we have known sensorily. All our knowledge therefore is relative to the knowledge what we have already known. Only on the basis of that we can imagine, we can simulate, create mental imagery or such projections we can create in our mind. They are all based on what we have known, what we know already. It is not that you cannot imagine the taste, smell or anything which you have never had. You need something to comparison what it is like. Then you can do that. Going beyond the sensory data and imagining that is certainly, then it has to be immaterial. Everything material is sensory. So tad buddhi grahyam. So the mind, the intellect which is free, so it is just witness of that immaterial, the consciousness within you. That is what yogi attains to. That is what this state denotes, implies towards. This is what it is showing. So sukham atyantikam, that infinite, everything of this nature of this world is finite. That alone is infinite. That's why that infinite happiness and that tad buddhi, that's why that particular intellect tat, and it is witnessing that immaterial, that pure consciousness. And this, not only this happiness, not only this consciousness. So as I explained, that all three aspects of the Satchidananda, the existence, that is Sat, then Chit, that is consciousness, that witness, knowledge, and the third aspect is bliss, Ananda, Sat, Chit and Ananda. So Sukham Atyantikam represents Ananda. Then Tad Buddhi Grahyam Atindriyam. This aspect, as well as in the next verse also, Vetti Tatvatah. This aspect shows the Chit aspect of the Satchidananda. Yatra, where or when that state is reached in the life, in the on that graph of experience in its intensity. So yatra eva ayam sthitah, when that person establishes himself in that state, na chalati, so he does not move. He attains that immovability, that infinite, then that he attains to that infinite nature. This aspect relates to the Sat aspect of the Satchidananda. So he attains to that. And thus attaining to that, he never moves, nothing moves him. So this idea is taken forward in this 22nd verse, that he does not move, nothing can move him. If something is all pervading, so where it will move? When we do packing, right? If the box is too big and the inner content are small, they rattle. So what does the expert packaging man, what does he do? He cut the box to the size of the content and remove extra whatsoever space by stuffing some like a paper or some cushion material. So when every space is occupied, then nothing moves. When he attains to such nature that occupies everything, he doesn't move. So the kutastham, this is the epithet, this is the adjective, this is used with respect to the person who attains to such state as well as that principle itself. So that principle and the person who attains it, many times their state is explained with similar adjectives, because our Upanishad says Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati, that one who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. That is, as Swami Ranganathananji used to put it, that here, that knowing is being. It is not in any other field of knowledge that you know something, you does not become that. You are knowing about insect, you do not become the insect. Here, you know God means you become God. You know something, you become that. Knowing is being. Knowing Brahman is becoming Brahman. Knowing God, realizing God is becoming God. Attaining to its nature fully. What defines you is the limiting factor. That limitation is dropped and infinity is attained. Now, this is the idea of na that doesn't move. Here in the 22nd verse, it is clarified again, this idea. And as many times I have quoted this verse, and it is one of my very favorite verse and very nice verse. So, to remember for always. So, the verse goes like this: Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tatah yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. To chant it, Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tatah yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Again, Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tatah yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. So, what is said here? Yam. So, yam is whatsoever. Labdhva, getting it, acquiring it, having that, something whatsoever, that yam. Chaparam means cha aparam. So, aparam means anything else. Aparam. Labham, the the acquisition or getting any other thing. Once you have something, yam labdhva, that which, having which, no getting any other thing. This is what is being said in these 4 words. Yam labdhva cha aparam labham. Manyate, that you do not consider. Nadhikam na adhikam tatah, that you do, nadhikam means you do not consider it greater. Adhik is greater, higher, more. So, no adhikam tatah, comparative to that, tatah, from that. That is the meaning of the tatah. So, what is said in the first line? That having which or getting which, you do not consider any other thing more than that. The possession of any other thing, getting any other thing, you do not consider it more than that, more than what you already have. That is the idea. So, it is something that yam labdhva, after getting which, you do not consider getting any other thing, something more than that. That it has reached the height. That's it. You cannot go further than that. You cannot, that means everything else before it is going to be small. Nothing can be more than that. Nadhikam tataha. Nothing can be more than that. You have reached the highest. You have reached the highest. There is nothing which can top it. Man is always in the state of, what we say as progress, movement, going further, going forward, and there it ends. You cannot go further than that. There it ends. It shows the end of the journey. End of the journey. It is not infinite going forward and forward. It ends at this point. It ends at infinite. When you attain infinity. That's what it says. Yam labdhva cha aparam labham manyate na adhikam tatah. That getting which you do not consider getting any other thing more than that. So, it is the greatest of all possession which will quench your desire for every other thing in life. Nothing can top it. Nothing is more than that. Nothing, there is no whatsoever idea of lacking or want will be there. There will be no such idea left. Your all desires are quenched, fulfilled. You cannot desire anything after that. The fulfillment of all desires, the fulfillment of all your thirst, all your your enterprise, your endeavors, your all initiatives in search of something to make it better, it ends there. There is no better than that. The end which always seems to be vague for us, when we attain it, there is something more to be attained in the life. We are directed towards it, one goal after another or after another. There it ends. Yam labdhva cha aparam labham manyate na adhikam tatah. This is the first line. The second line says yasmin sthito. Now, how is the language of the first line? It is as if it is an object. Yam labdhva. That is something. You get it. Maybe the lamp of Aladdin. So you have it. You do not have to have any other thing. The genie will come out, pop out of it, and it will bring you whatever you want, whatever you lack, whatever you desire. So, idea, how it sounds? It sounds like it is an object. It is a thing. Yam labdhva cha param labham na manyate na adhikam tatah. So, as if it is a thing. Now, see the second line. What does it say? Yasmin sthito. Yasmin, the state. When you are situated in it, it is a state. It is not a thing. Means a two-way. That character of that ultimate object, ultimate aim is described two ways. As an object as well as a state. Yes means sthito. When you are established, where you in that state, sthitah. You are firmly established in it. Yes means sthito. Na dukkhe na gurunapi vichalete. Gurunapi dukkhe na. So even if the dukkha, the misery, the sorrow is mountainous, is so big to move anyone, to melt any stone. So even if such a sorrow descends upon such person, Gurunapi, Guru Guru is big, very big. Api is means although. So dukkhena guruna api. So when such heavy sorrow descends upon you, na vichalyate, that person, he is not perturbed, he is not moved by such sorrow, by such pain, by such misery. It does not move him. So at one state, at one side is said sukham atyantikam. What about dukkha? Such mountainous sorrow also cannot move him. He has left no desire unfulfilled, attained everything. He has attained the epitome of happiness. And he is in such a state, that the mountain of sorrows cannot touch him, cannot move him. Yasmin sthito na dukkhe na gurunapi vichalyate. So, this is the state that yoga will take you on its journey, when that maturity is attained. That is the goal, that is the highest where yoga, this practice of yoga, will take you. So, eulogizing this, the path, the sadhana, the ultimate fruit of it, what Bhagavan is saying in the 23rd verse of this chapter. So here it goes. Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sanjnitam sa nischayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa anirvinna chetasa. So yogo nirvinna chetasa. So this is how it will be chanted. Tam vidya dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sanjnitam सनिश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्ण चेतसा. तम विद्या दुख संयोग वियोगम योग संज्ञितम सनिश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्ण चेतसा. So Bhagavan is saying, as if directly now to Arjuna, that this is how that yoga is. This is what the high, the great aim, the great result of it. This is the state you are going to attain if you follow this discipline. And now he is saying that know that tam vidyat, know that dukkha sanyoga viyogam. This is the one term, dukkha sanyoga viyogam. So what causes sanyoga, yoga or union with this dukkha, the pain, the misery, and viyogam, which cause this severance of this union of pain, union with pain. This union is severed, dukkha sanyoga viyogam. One which causes that, know that is what is known as yoga, yoga sannitam. That is named, which is called as yoga. This is yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is that one which causes this viyogam. Viyogam of what? Dukkha sanyoga. Whatever causes you pain, that cause is severed. That cause is attacked and cut off. What can cause that? That is called as yoga. Yoga samjnitam. Know that it is called as yoga. One which causes the severance of this union with pain. Tam vidyat dukkha sayoga viyogam yoga samjitam. This is, so Bhagavan is saying, that is the very intrinsic nature of yoga. So it must set you free from this misery, put you out of this misery. That is the nature of yoga. If it is not being done or accomplished, then we have to know that we lack something in our practice and in our understanding. That the practice of our yoga, if it is not able to attain us that dukkha sayoga viyogam, then we are lacking somewhere. Then it needs to be reanalyzed, checked ourselves, our behavior, our approach. We are not doing something right. We are not doing something right. So we have to check our course of action and correct it. So this yoga, Bhagavan says now, like instruction to Arjuna, that such yoga, that yoga, nishchayena yoktavyo, that is to be engaged in with determination. Nishchayena yoktavyo, that is to be engaged in with, that discipline has to be followed, that has to be practiced with this will, with this determination, nishchaya. Not with a lukewarm heart, not with a casual approach, as it is demanded, as it is needed. That you set yourself to the task of attaining this yoga. Sanishchayena yoktavyo. And this is very true, that this nishchaya is as if the soul of this practice, of this discipline. Many times, here Bhagavan will give a lot of importance to this nishchaya. There are other verses. How much importance he give Bhagavan to this, the resolute mind, the resolution the person does. That it shows, at least at that moment, regardless of how many times he fails after that, but at least at that moment, that person is in complete synchronization of his heart, of his mind, of his will, of his all inner faculties, that he is set to do that. He is completely aligned, that he is whole integrated person behind the decision. Like that verse goes, sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. Vyavasaya, this is shown as the one-pointedness, determination. So the person who has once decided, Bhagavan says, once if he has decided, know that person as sadhu only. Sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. If he has made a comprehensive decision, it is not a talk. That person has put his behind his will, he is ready to go, whatever, ready to face the consequences, he is ready to pay the price, whatsoever it may be. He has set his heart, he has committed. This nishchaya is very important. So, and in the practice of this discipline of yoga, whatever little bit I could understand is this, that initially it is all but the development of your willpower. your development of your concentration when your mind is distracted and you are trying to gather your mind and put it on the object of your meditation, trying to drive it, your mind, your faculties within yourself. As I said, this meditation is completely opposite to every other action what we generally do. Because here we have to direct our energies, our faculties, the flow of the mind within itself. In everything else, it is going outbound, away from itself. Here it has to go within itself. So, willpower, that person. And what is that willpower? How is that like willpower? Willpower is not like, big mouthing. It is not, I will do that. Many people talk loud and it is nonsense. Willpower is not like that. I am avowed, I will do this, I promise this and this, that. So much noise. Willpower, the truth of it lies within this, how your other faculties, especially your chitta and your mind, will, because it is this is nishchaya. It definitely is a faculty aligned to intellect. Because this is conscious decision, something. Weighing in all factors that mind has collaborated, chitta has collaborated. But will, this is the faculty of buddhi, willpower. Now, the truth of will lies therein. When, how much that will has power can be experienced, can be analyzed from the fact that how much mind or chitta goes to cooperate with that will. There lies the power of the will. As Swamiji, there is one episode in Swami Vivekananda's life towards his end days in Belur Math. So he had probably diabetes something, and he had consulted one doctor, and there was a course of meditation he was supposed to undergo. And for 3 days, doctor had said not to drink even a drop of water. He can although drink milk, but he cannot drink water. Not a drop of water in any form. He can drink milk. That was only one exception made. Nothing else he can do. To have that, to make that medicine work, that was the condition. Now, the disciple, Sharat Chandra Chakravarti, who is living beside him, and he knows Swamiji day and night how he is habituated to drink water every now and then. So he said to Swamiji that, Swamiji, how you will be able to do that? You tend every half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, you are drinking, you are taking a sip of water. That is your habit, that is your nature. How you are going to live like this without a drop of water? And Swamiji replies to him. So he says, what is the difficulty? Once I make the decision, once I make the resolution that not a drop of water I will drink for 3 days. Not even a drop of water will go down his throat. Swamiji is saying just like that once I make such a resolution, body is going to cooperate. Mind is not going to become excited. Mind is not going to incite him, provoke him to drink at least little bit water or some fruit or some some ice or something, ice cube or something. Mind is not going to grumble. He is not going to see any images in his dream that there is a lot of water. It happens to people. It happens to people. When they are fasting, they are dreaming in their deep sleep lot of food. Or as if there is a famine, he is going to die. Whichever way. So in the subconscious also, in every other sense, his body, mind is completely aligned when he has made a decision. His buddhi, his will has made a decision, he has taken a resolution. Everything is cooperating. That is the truth of willpower. Willpower is not humbug. Is not a loud talk. That I will do this and I will do that. This is not willpower. This is immaturity at the best. When you take a decision and your mind cooperates it, this willpower translates into concentration. This willpower translates into concentration. That you want to meditate, your mind cooperates. Your chitta cooperates. It does not try to disturb it, does not try to disturb that meditation. It aligns to your decision of your resolution to meditate on something. It aligns, your chitta and mind aligns itself to that decision. This is development of willpower. This translates into concentration. Sa nishchayena yoktavya. Nishchayena, this is in the third case, that is the instrumental case, that with the nishchaya you do that, with the help of nishchaya, that determination, that resolution, you do that. Do what? That yoga, yoktavya, engage yourself. In that engagement, many times people say, so what to do? Mind is very difficult to concentrate. What to do? This thing, that thing, so many things. We have excuses, endless excuses. And many times it is our, it is our experience also. Day we spend in such a way. We are so beaten at the end of day. The general man who is doing a job 9 to 6 or something. So he has to, so early he has to wake up to go catch a local train, go to the place of work, do job, and there is so much competition has vitiated the atmosphere. No safety, no security. There is always rush to grab that every piece, every bit, whatever there is available, that has, as if the work has become. Otherwise you lose your job. So in such a drag, where is that energy, that person at the end of day to meditate? Very difficult situation. But on the contrary, yoga, which appears as if something difficult practice, yoga is going to, it is supposed to become the antidote to this suffering. Dukkha sayoga viyogam. It is supposed to relieve you from the stress. That is supposed to be yoga. And initially it is a discipline. It's a practice. It has to be hard earned with hard work. It is not simply going to pop up. You are not going to find it by stroke of chance. You are not. You are not going to find it just by luck. You have to work, you have to sweat, you have to make your mind work, you have to take work out of your mind. You have to make work the mind. That is the phrase I would like to use. Yoga is working the mind. Like you work your muscles, you work your intellectual faculty, you work your different resources, you work something, you work your mind. That is yoga. Initially, there is labor, yes, but there is result. And many times I find it, this Nike's logo is there, just do it. And you have asked your questions, your doubts had been answered, your questions has been answered, responded, you have intellectually understood once, twice, 100 times, you have lost it, again you have done the same ratiocinations, same cogitation, still there is no improvement. So remember this, just do it. You have to sometimes, just you have to make it do. And here, that will, that is going to play the factor. Just do it. That's it. The faculty of yoga, the path of yoga, the practice of yoga stresses on the practice, not much on emotion, not much on cogitation. Yoga and karma, they are both practice based. So we have to sometimes cut short the room, the long rope which we have given to our mind, and just ask him to just go, do, repeat this thing. And if you become successful in convincing your mind and making it work, you will immediately find the result. Now this result is worth more than tons of talk. This ounce of practice is worth more than tons of talk. This is the undeniable proof of the practice of the yoga. And this is the wealth which can convince your mind. This is the result which this experience can convince your mind to engage, to devote itself, to practice that yoga, to improve its discipline further and further. So this is what yoga is about. The time is up. We will conclude. There is little bit to talk about in this verse, that last idea about anirvinna chetasa. So we will talk about that in our upcoming class. So here we take the break. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishnarpanamastu.